Good morning, or yes, good day. I'm Milo, and this is my stream, and today I'm playing Sonic the Hedgehog Spinball. Check out the options menu first, because why not? Oh wow, 4 players. Well, that makes sense. Why don't we see how the speed is, and then we'll see if we need to switch it to fast. Alright, so there's a bit of a track mode that sort of tells the story of the game, so we're just going to watch that. Here we are on Not the Usual plane, and gets shot down, and yeah, that's basically it. The manual says that at this point Sonic is saved by friends in wet places, and he ends up here. This is a demo. So we'll switch over to the actual game and start playing. Yes, this is a pretty interesting game. Hello, Gibbon. Welcome. It's, you know, in the first 10 seconds it looks like a Sonic game, but then boom, obviously it's a pinball game, and yeah, it's not just a pinball game though, it's sort of a pinball adventure hybrid kind of thing, which is a really cool style that you don't see too often. I do remember playing Super Mario Ball or Mario Pinball Land, and it being sort of like this as well, but it was a bit more screen based in the sense that okay, so I just released a cork. Obviously, being a Sonic game, the objective is to get the Chaos Emeralds and stop Robotnik, as usual, or Eggman, I suppose, but this game was made in America, within the American canon, so I guess we're going to call him Robotnik. Yeah, Mario Pinball Land had sort of a series of interconnected pinball, like little rooms that were pinball tables, but kind of small. They were the size of a GBA screen, so sort of widescreen. I want to get that ring. There's an extra bonus stage if you get all the rings in a level, and this is cool because it gives you a chance to recover, but there's also danger if you stay here for too long and being eaten by that snake. You might have noticed there also that Sonic grabs ledges and pulls himself up, which is not a feature in any of the other 2D games. But I always find very helpful in 2D platformers. The manual also recommends for beginning players to use the C button, which will activate both flippers at once, and I'm going to go ahead and do that. Because you also are able to control Sonic's speed or position in midair. You can adjust his path, his you know, trajectory with the directional buttons, on top of, you know, controlling him when you get to a walking section. Now I want that, yeah, okay. So I want that ring, but I don't want to get it in a way that kills me. I will be using lots of save states because apparently this game's pretty hard. I have given it a go every now and then. Or, no, that's not the right phrase. Oops. I guess I'll take that death. See what happens. So you get a bonus, and oh, it sends you all the way back here. Okay, well, let's load from that. I do enjoy the scrolling ticker at the top, just like a pinball table. So it's sort of fusing these aspects of real pinball into this sort of adventure game kind of thing. But yeah, it's mimicking a little LCD panel there. That's kind of cute. Alright, got those worms. Try and get all those barrels. Yeah, there's all objectives to complete as well on each screen, just like a pinball table. Okay, that's cute. I guess I'll jump up the middle. What a nice little image. Okay. Okay. Yeah, physics are a little iffy sometimes. Okay. Well, that didn't work out, I expected. Such a mystery. Just like on a real pinball table, there's all these events that pop up and things you can activate, but I don't know what they do. And that's not a very exciting warp, taking you from one side of this table to the other. If each of the areas of this are so self-contained like this, it does actually feel like Mario Pinball Land, just with larger segments. Okay, what happens when I pause? Hey, Tony's here. Hi, Tony. Hope you're feeling better. He's saying this is a good game, though why are there more than 7 Chaos Emeralds? Did I get an emerald already? I guess so. Right. So yeah, I guess the reason I'm playing this today, even though I've just recently played another Sonic game, Sonic Drift, is to celebrate the release of Sonic Forces. Not that I'm really interested in buying and playing it, but that's beside the point. It's fun, and you know, new games don't come around every day, except, you know, they kind of do. I guess not every single day. Depends how you define a game and like a release and how high profile you want to talk about. I really want to get in there, and I realize I'm not using my ability to direct myself in midair quite enough. Anyway, yeah, Sonic Forces. Tony's spoken reasonably well of it. Oh, okay. Get me out of here. Yeah, okay. So my goal is to get all the rings, as I said. So I can at least see that bonus level. There's 3 worlds, and I guess, or levels. And this Toxic Caves is the first one. After each one, you get an opportunity to do a bonus level that is unique to that stage. Oh, here we go. Minecart time, okay. What the heck is going on? Oh no! These levels really are bigger than I thought. Oh, an emerald! Great! So yeah, apparently in this game there's up to 16 emeralds in total. And really there should be 7? Okay, so I don't want to go left, that takes me back where I've been. But if I go here... I assume that to achieve success in a level, you have to go everywhere in it and sort of do everything. There's a number of emeralds in each level. I think there was 16 total, so I don't know how that divides up into 3 worlds, but whatever. Anyway, my initial goal is simply to reach the first bonus stage because I read that this is one of the few games to take elements of the cartoon, well, you know, there's like at least 6 Sonic cartoons, but you know, one of the adaptations, cartoons and comics, and bring them into the game world in some way. Like I said, this was a completely American production. It was made by Sega Technical Institute, which is a studio that Sega maintained for a time in San Francisco. They were eventually disbanded. So Sega Technical Institute, STI, they, I guess, what caught my eye out of it was, out of their list of games, was Comic Zone, which is an interesting sort of beat 'em up that styles itself after a comic book and has you going through actual panels and breaking through them. And, yeah, it's kind of interesting. but they also assisted on development of certain Sega titles, including Sonic 2. So STI subcontracted. Oh. Yep. Force them over that way. Excellent. Next area. So yeah, STI subcontracted. Oh no, wrong move. It said. I see that now. But I do want the rings. But do I want them that badly? Anyway, as I was saying, STI subcontracted a small company called Poly Games, who, according to an interview with one of the two co-founders and two main employees, I guess at the time, were responsible for 90% of the game's programming, even though the individual guys who did that programming at Poly Games were not individually credited in the credits. They're just listed under Poly Games in the programming section. But this interview with Lee Actor, which I found on the GDRI website, it's pretty interesting. They asked him, you know, which of the two companies, STI or Poly Games, would you say is more responsible for the development of the game? And he said, no, it's a co-production between the two of us, but I'd put our name first. Because yeah, STI did the graphics, the music, and sound and that kind of thing. Okay. So I've been to a lot of places now. I'm not sure how to get to that last place I saw briefly. Try going this way. So yep. Okay. What was I saying? STI stuff. Yeah, there was an interesting connection I noticed with Poly Games with a recent stream I did. Poly Games was co-founded. How do I get into that area? Oh, another emerald. Okay. So that was all three. There's 3 per stage. I understand this now. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Oh no! The buttons, it says. Great escape. Oh, that was fun. That was exciting. Ah, you see those rings that are in that tunnel? I'm not sure how to get there. And now that I have the emeralds, I'm also not sure how to, you know, leave the level, go to the next area. Anyway, so Poly Games, founded by 2 guys, Lee Actor. Oh, music's changed. Lee Actor and what was the other guy? Dennis Coble. Now Dennis Coble was an ex-employee with Atari, and among a lot of other people who quit Atari in disgruntlement over, you know, bad working conditions and not being credited for their work on games, especially. Now this is weird. It's a sort of mecha scorpion with Eggman's face. Sorry, Robotnik's face, I suppose. Anyway, Dennis Coble went off and founded Imagic, which you might recognize as the creators of Fathom, a game I was particularly impressed with during my Dolphin Game stream. They made that and among many other things. Dennis Coble wasn't actually involved on that one because Imagic had a lot of employees at the time. But it was an interesting connection anyway. Yeah, not much hits done on him, okay. Let's keep popping him. So yeah, Imagic dissolved at some point and Dennis Coble went and co-founded Poly Games with Lee Actor. There we go. Robotnik is down. Okay, Tony says that this game was was released in Japan and advertised at the time as a Sonic game from the USA, which, you know, is a bit disingenuous since, you know, ever since Sonic 2, they'd been co-produced by the studio that was based in the US. Okay, so this is the bonus stage that I was talking about, or was I talking about it? Anyway. Oh, okay. Gonna have to use my load point because I really need to break all those crystal things at the top of the screen. Okay. Trapped alive, free them. So yeah, it's kind of cute how this looks like a real pinball table, and it's pretty decent actually, the way the ball rolls and changes sizes goes. This is actually, yeah, pretty impressive for a virtual pinball table. But yeah, look at Sonic's reflection that you can see in the windows to the left and right. You can see his hands moving on the flippers. You can see his eyes following the ball. This is really cool. I like this a lot. Anyway, whoa, okay. Blink and you'll miss it, but actually I want to go back to see that properly because each one of these containers holds a character. Some of them are from the game, some of them are... There we go, there's Bunny. Gonna have to be quick about this. I won't load again, I'll just try and point them out as I see them. That's Coconuts the monkey. That's... Oh, that must be Sally Acorn, but in her original look where she had pink fur and darker hair. There's Tails, yeah. That's Rotor the walrus. Cool. Two more. So some of these characters have more or less of an existence. Oh, I guess that's Flicky. Just one of the generic bird things, although they did have their own arcade game, which did get a home port. I think that was before they showed up in Sonic games as one of the animals that you rescue. Come on, last one. Let's be careful about this. Okay. Whoop, not quite. Come on. It's right in the corner. Oh, you're kidding. Come on. Oh no. Sorry, we need to load, we need to go back. We really need that last character, so here's a chance to get to see the ones. Oh, yeah, Tony also points out that the Sonic design as shown up there on the top of the screen is the character design as seen in the cartoons. I couldn't really tell you what's different about it, I guess the shape of the head or something? I don't know. So Bunny Rabbit, Coconuts the monkey, those ones in particular. Okay, so that I guess is supposed to be Mutsuki, who is Sonic's dog in the comic. He later got reinterpreted in the Archie comic. Sorry, his dog in the cartoon. It gets roboticized and becomes like a cyborg dog. So yeah, let's try and free everyone. Cool. Let's do that. So there's Sally and Flicky. Sally just looks so wrong from what I expected. Oh well. Yeah, I guess the way the spines look and the face. Okay. Oh no. Well, we should try and free everyone, right? Surely? Yeah, gives another chance to have another look at them. But I'll use more save states this time. Okay. So yeah, it's interesting. Dang, really? Okay, it's interesting that this is one of the very few times that those characters from the adaptations were featured in a game. The only other notable one is Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, which of course is a reskin of the current Puyo Puyo game that was around at the time. I'm not sure which iteration exactly it was. But yeah, that's one of those competitive puzzle sort of block matching games where there was a single player mode where you go through and there's a tilt function actually. I should be using that. See that? If you press all three at once, it does a tilt. But of course, like a real pinball table, if you do it too much, the tilt sensor will go off and you won't, you'll be locked out, your flippers will stop moving. So yeah, Mean Bean Machine had, as opponents, a lot of these unique Badnik characters that were Eggman's minions in the show. I guess they're all from the show. Although some of them, only a couple of them, were like adapted into other mediums. And actually, I was wrong about that monkey. That's not Coconuts. Coconuts is a bad guy. I was thinking of Mean Bean Machine, where Coconuts is one of the opponent characters. That must be representing the Wocky species, which is another one of the animals that you save in the early Sonic games. And yeah, I'm spending way more time on this than I expected to, but I want everyone to be safe and free, you know, nobody should be roboticized, except for Bonnie, obviously. Her story is that you might have noticed she had a metallic arm there. She was like half roboticized by Robotnik's processes. And then, there we go. But escaped it, and like, she has some cyborg powers, but yeah, it's mostly portrayed as like a bad thing that happened to her. Alright, so new level, Lava Powerhouse. Not sure how long it will take to actually complete this game. I think I saw 6 hours on how long to beat. Oops, ooh, that's not good. I'll take that death to... I'm not sure how to get more lives, but we'll save here. Oh, that's fine. What was I saying? I don't know. Something. Okay. Tony says that in the Puyo Puyo mobile game, which he was saying earlier, is taking it's a high-profile kind of release, so to speak, in that it makes a lot of money for Sega, in Japan especially. But yeah, Eggman was added as a playable character in that mobile version of Puyo Puyo as a reference. Of course, Mean Bean Machine also got a reference earlier this year with Sonic Mania. The Chemical Plant Zone boss was a little Puyo Puyo stage or something. I'd like to get up there. Plugs are closed. Yeah, the mid-air movement is pretty powerful actually for a pinball game, and I really should be using them all, but it can be hard to get right sometimes. Let's just move on to the next area. Ooh, that's cute. Okay. Oh, okay, yeah, cool. Got that boost stop again. Extra multiplier? Yeah, I don't really care about that. So yeah, I guess Mean Bean Machine just had the Badnik characters, like I said. Most of them were one-offs actually from an early episode of the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, I believe it was. Or was it the other one? There are so many damn Sonic cartoons that I just can't keep them all straight. there were two running at the same time as well, which is even more confusing. Because you had Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, and one called Sonic the Hedgehog, which is usually called by fans Sat AM, or Saturday AM, because it played on Saturday mornings. It's kind of a dumb name, but I guess it distinguishes it within the Sonic fandom, so whatever. They were both produced by Deke, and both were broadcast in the same year, so, you know, no wonder I'm confused about them. But, yeah, after those two were cancelled, Archie Comics actually brought a lot of the characters from the, I guess, Sat-Am or whatever, brought that over into its continuity, continued to, it's sort of a continuation of the cartoon, basically. Okay. Ferronolan, what does that mean? Okay. Alright, we're here now, that's fine. Save. So yeah, Mean Bean Machine, yada yada yada. Yes, so I believe most of the characters that were in that bonus round are from Saturday Morning Sonic. But they might be more famous now for being in Archie because it's had such a longer run and a sort of, you know, expanded on the characters and the setting much for a longer time than the cartoon ever did. Although that's all over now too, because Archie's lost the Sonic license. New Sonic comics are going to be made by IDW now. Don't know why that happened exactly, but you know, there's always been a lot of goings on with Sonic comics that I also don't really have a complete grasp of the full story of. There was an issue with a particular artist, Ken Penders, claiming ownership of the characters that he created and suing the company for continuing to use them after he left. It's all rather unfortunate. So they had to reboot the comic just so they didn't have to use those characters anymore. But they still retain the characters that originate in the cartoon. Alright, so I think the trick with that steam room is to hit the button to let off that burst of steam and try and get in that hole. Okay, there we go. Whoa. Okay, good. No, no, not down there. Clucks are coming. Can I get back in, please? Come on. It worked before. Oh well, let's go back here. There was a way up to another level going this way, I believe. Oh no, that's going up to the same level. Huh. Well, so much for that. So what's up there then? Yes, yes. Oh, here we go. Okay, so if I push you off and then stand here. Yep, cool. It's fun. Gimmicks, I like it. Total action! Oh, I guess I have to push that down before it'll let me through. More plugs. Yeah, I gotta say, for a game that was sort of developed in a rush, this is pretty good. They do talk about that in the interview as well. They started it in March of 1990, whatever, 96 I think. And development wrapped in September? No. Man, I'm getting the months wrong, but anyway, it was between 7 and 9 months. I counted 7, but another source I saw said 9. And I'm back here. Aha! I went straight in that loop there. That's pretty good. Oh no! Get me out of here. Okay. Okay. Oh, wait, where am I? What's going on? Ah! No, I don't want to be here. Well, I guess I do, because I was trying to get back in there earlier, so maybe I'll try that again. I'm not sure how I even did it the first time, because when I tried again, it didn't quite work. Maybe if I bounced off a clock. I think the music in this title is pretty decent too. I said before it was done by Sega Technical Institute's people. Well, I think some of it was subcontracted out, possibly, not really sure. But I did read an interesting anecdote about the development. Nope, I need to go off to the side. Yes, like that. Okay. Yeah, so apparently when the game was being developed, they put in the theme song from the first Sonic game on the title screen, and a couple of jingles too. But, oh, I need more emeralds to get through that? Okay. Don't know how to get the other ones, but we'll try. Whoops. Oh, cool. See, I control these little steam pumper thingies that are on the side of the stage there. But I don't think I have quite the momentum to make it up here. Oh, I do! Lovely. That's fun. Yeah, so they didn't have the rights to... Oh, no, yeah. Can I... Oh, oh man. Alright, anyway. So, yeah, they didn't have... Apparently, Sega didn't have the rights to music that was in the first Sonic game, which is just bizarre, and I don't know how that happened exactly. Ah, okay. If I save here, I should be able to get out. Yes, okay. Oh, that takes me down there. Okay. Anyway, so at the... Like, there were some copies of the game shipped with the original music in it, but for most of the print run, they had this new theme that was done at the last minute, which, you know, still sounds fine. But yeah, the musician, the thing I read said that Howard Drossen did it at the last minute, but there's a few other people on the music team that are credited. But he specifically did the new title theme and whatever other themes needed to be swapped out. Yeah. Okay, so that is bound to do something, hitting that plug over there. Yeah, I think I started saying earlier that I have played this game before, but only briefly. It's included on a few of those Sonic collections, and I owned one on my Xbox Zero. Sonic Mega Collection Plus or whatever, I don't know what it was actually called. But yeah, I did give it a go, but I just super wasn't feeling it at the time, and I never really played any of the games in that collection for any decent length of time. I guess I didn't appreciate them back then, and I would rather be playing Halo or whatever. Of course I had Jet Set Radio Future as well, so who can blame me? Oop, oop. No, okay. So, I'd like to go back in there maybe, if I can. Oh, how's chat doing? Oh, chat's being busy. Let's put a save spot there and I'll see what's going on. Yeah, the pilot episode of of Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog is the one that was the source of most of the opponent characters from Mean Bean Machine. Yes. Apparently Disney cancelled Sonic the Power Rangers. I guess Disney was, what you call it? What do you call it? Syndicating? Yeah, whatever. Okay, so oh, it's really tough to get the momentum right here. Okay, just, oops. So if I'm holding right more, yeah, okay, I can just put that like that. Whew, okay, what else is going on down here? Disney, oh, okay, Disney owned the network that was airing on. Okay. Gibbon has read that Unleashed had some Sat-Am/Archie Comics references in it, but he just rushed through that game to get it over with and never bothered to look into it. Yeah, there's also a few versions of that game which makes it confusing. You've got the HD version developed by Sonic Team, and then the Wii version, which was also on the PS2, developed by Dimps, and certain people prefer one or the other. And there wasn't a handheld version, but there was a mobile phone version, which was a 2D platformer. So, yeah. Even if there are references, you might not have had them in your version of the game, depending if you were playing on PS3 360 or on Wii PS2. So now I'm here. Where do I actually want to go? I think I want to go in here because I've never been here before, so I'll keep trying this. And just hope I get lucky, because this really doesn't seem to be a consistent way to do that. That's right, I don't have the emeralds. But I don't know how to get them either. Okay, so what does this do? That takes me back in there. So where does this go? Goes to this board. So I let the plugs out. What did that do? It's all rather confusing, really. So let's save and explore a few of our options. So if I fall down here, I go back here. Okay. And down there is some lava, I think. Let's find out. Yes. So I'll lead back up here. Woo! Okay. Bit more chat while we're here. Yeah. Okay, yeah, Archie Comics might have been going on at the same time as the show. That would certainly not be unheard of. I'm reminded of the Nintendo Valiant comics that were basically adaptations of the cartoon shows that Nintendo was airing at the time. But I'm not sure about the chronology, if they continued after the shows were over or what. And likewise in the case of Sonic. I mean, certainly Archie continued for long after the show was over, but in terms of its initial release, I'm not sure. Okay, so now I know that my goal is to pop up on the left there, that area that I couldn't quite get to on my first entrance into this level. And if I get there, I can make my way into that steam tunnel that I was just in. Actually, how did I get into that steam tunnel? Oh man, what a goof. What a goof. Oh, okay, so I'm here now. What does that mean? Let's assume that I have to go this way. I'll go here, and then pop up there. Now I can't jump like that, can I? Well, I'll keep making that my goal for now. Nope. Oh, yep, okay. Yeah, I'm glad I read that manual because there are a few little tricks and tips in there. I noticed that it was written by Caroline Hanshaw, the same lady who also did the Echo the Dolphin manual that I'm so very fond of. Sonic Spinball's manual doesn't have quite the level of, you know, extra information or hedgehog facts or whatever, but it's still pretty decent and helpful. And it has a bit of character to it as well. speaking of which, the plot in the manual calls this location, I mean, you saw Sonic flying into, you know, Eggman's lair. Okay, so that takes me here. So it's not really what I wanted after all. Yeah, that big fortress thing is called... Oh, here we go. No, it didn't work. Why didn't the steam work? Do I have to activate something first? Maybe those plug things? So I'm here now. Now I'm back here. Yeah, I'm going to load back to this point. So I need to activate something here. Have I not done that? No, no, I don't want to go down there. Yeah, so Eggman's fortress is called the Veggie Fortress. I don't understand that at all. Like, since when has Eggman ever been associated with vegetables, and how does that make sense in the context of this game? And it doesn't look like a vegetable. Although that kind of looks like a face right there. Yeah, so I'm a little confused right now, but whatever. I guess. Yeah, so, okay, yeah, here we go. Okay, yeah. Yes, yes, yes. Wonderful. Oh, good stuff. Let's read a bit of chat. Yes, the comic was a time for the show, says Tony, and he trusts IDW, who are the new keepers of the Sonic comics, because their Disney comics are the best. So I guess Archie's problems was that they were getting sued by Ken Penders? No, that's a separate issue. Okay, yeah, so Gibbon's bringing up SWAT bots, which are kind of robot enforcers that Robotnik had in some of the cartoons or comics or whatever. They show up in Sonic Chronicles, which is an RPG game on the DS, made by BioWare themselves, the BioWare. Yeah, that's bad. I need to load back. Luckily I loaded after getting that emerald. The Quantum Gemerald. Yeah, Sonic Chronicles had a bit of that going on. It seems like an interesting thing. I want to look into it. It's sort of... I guess the main thing is its plot. Oh, okay. What's this? Oh, okay, back out here. Interesting. Yeah, there's all these little warps and secret tunnels and stuff in these levels. It's interesting. I guess when I first played this on the Xbox, I just didn't understand at all, like, how to get from A to B, how to go anywhere. I guess I didn't have any patience for experimentation at the time. But yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with the game right now. Especially when I can talk over it. It might be a bit more tedious if I was just sort of playing it and goofing around and hitting my head against a wall. But look at all this fun Sonic stuff we got to talk about. Sonic Chronicles, for example. I don't think there was ever any actual legal action from this, but it certainly seems like the main plot of Sonic Chronicles was heavily inspired by certain things that happened in the comics. What with the race of, like, technologically advanced hedgehogs that were, not hedgehogs, echidnas, who were like the bad guys. It's all very reminiscent of certain characters and events from the comics. So what we need to do now is get up to that second steam room and enter those portals. Which I think the entrance is right here, so good. Wonderful. Okay, so I'll save here, and we'll try and get up there. Yeah, so I guess in Chronicles it's not quite the overt references in the way that Beam Machine and this game have the actual characters appearing. Whoa, this is really creepy. Okay. Alright, so we're gonna take turns coming in here and knocking out these heads. Yeah, they give you a lot of chances. Oh, nope. that flipper fell down. Okay, yeah, this is interesting. I like this. Because it lets Sonic run around sometimes, I think it's a really interesting way of controlling the character. Like, of course Sonic fits well as a pinball type character because he's, you know, ball-shaped. The same reason is why Metroid Prime Pinball is such a good idea, because you get Samus in her Morph Ball most of the time. But then she pops up every now and then and starts shooting some bugs, and it's cool. I really like that game too, but it's more of a pinball simulation than this is. Oh no. Oh my. Oh wow. That was interesting. Falling out of that boss arena takes you all the way down there. I could have escaped that chain, but I didn't quite make it. I'll save more in the boss battle this time. We don't want to be stuck in the same stuff for too long. If I have time later, I might also load up the 8-bit version. It's got the same level themes, but the layouts are all new. So yeah, I want to show that off. It doesn't, the other thing that's notable about it is it does not have the cameos from the cartoon comic characters in the bonus round. So that makes it less interesting, obviously, but yeah, worth checking out anyway, since it's got unique level design. Okay, I can hit that head from below. Yes. Okay, I think we covered that. What's the next thing in chat? Yeah, Tony says that Ken Pender's work after Sonic is terrible looking. It's too bad. Oops. Oh no, man. I said I was going to save and I really didn't. Yeah, Gibbon says that this game is, yeah, he says it's really good, which is, I'm glad you're enjoying it, because I am enjoying playing it a lot. And it's an interesting, I think what I like about it too is how it's kind of a Western take on Sonic. They felt free to include these comic characters and stuff, and it just, I don't know, something about the feel of it is not like a Japanese Sonic game, and I really can't put my finger on it, but yeah, it's interesting. But also, just the basic premise and the controls and everything is very, very cool, very different. And he also says the music is great. Yeah, I agree. Oh, and Gibbon also says we need Freedom Planet Spinball. Of course, Freedom Planet started as a Sonic fan game and then became its own thing. I think I got that in a Humble Bundle or something. Maybe I should give it a go, now that I'm actually into Sonic. Yeah. And the characters from that being, you know, in the indie sphere, they've been shown up in a lot of other indie games in those indie crossover cameo type situations. So that's cool. Yeah. Oops. Yeah, so landing on those things twice flips them down. So I got bumped out by finished off any of those heads. It's creepy, creepy heads. Okay, Tony was trying to give me some advice, but I wasn't watching chat. But I got all the emeralds anyway. Okay, so there's other... Oh, okay, Tony's gone. See you later. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, Tony's talking about other lawsuits, not just with pandas. Other artists got on the lawsuit train, I guess, after Ken Pandas started with that whole thing. Yeah, it's too bad. That giant reboot that they had to do with the comics, it's unfortunate that they had to, but I guess it gave them an opportunity to reinterpret characters and scenarios and stuff. So, you know, it's a good and bad thing. Comics always have retcons though, it's just something you gotta get used to, I suppose. It had a long unbroken continuity for a while though. I believe the reboot was tied into the Mega Man crossover, because there was a thing with the Super Genesis wave or whatever, and blah blah blah. I don't know. Too complicated. The most of the reason I know about the Sonic comics is because of that crossover. I was following a Mega Man fan blog and they had reviews of the crossover issues and had to learn a bit about the Sonic side of things to sort of get what was going on in that crossover. And now then there was another crossover, and I don't know. I think it went too far with the crossovers. Another issue with the comics industry. Got to have these big events to keep readers interested, but then it just plays havoc with the comic lines and releases, and yeah, troublesome. Keep falling for it. We'll get through this. And I think we're making pretty good time, so hopefully we see the whole game and maybe a bit of the 8-bit version as well. I do have time today, so I could even go a little late if I needed to. Oops. Yeah, leaving that bottom head is probably a good thing to bounce off, but I got rid of it. Like, I gotta say this again, the heads floating in this vat are really creepy. What are they exactly? I didn't say it again, did I? Man, I'm bad at this. It's okay. We'll get scared by the heads again. That's cool. Are they slightly different from each other? Or is it just... Nah, they're the same. Safe here, actually. Yo, move it, says the ticker. What if I want to? Ah, not so. That's Sonic Spinball. Pretty off model, but actually I like it a lot. Okay, so I jump. Oh, didn't fall that time. Okay. Yes, good. No, bad. Yeah, that was pretty good. Yeah, Gibbon says he played this a lot as a kid. That's cool. That's really cool. Did you have the other Sonic games as well? Someone in the Discord was saying how they had this but not any of the other ones, so like this was their impression of Sonic, and it's a little odd for just this to inform what you think about the series. I think it was Cameron, and like playing at a friend's house or something. He was confused as to why they only had Spinball and not any of the other games. Although I guess I should say that other Sonic games have had pinballish segments. I think it was Casino Unite Zone and one other that I can't remember right now. But there are sections in the games where you get hit on a bouncy thing and Sonic balls up and then gets knocked around and you have flippers and stuff. But they're always short segments. I guess that's what inspired this game to go all out in that direction. But yeah, it's not the first time that this kind of thing has been done in a Sonic game, but it is the first one to base the entire game around that, and I think they did a pretty good job with it. Okay, save here. Oops. Might as well. Yeah, rubber head down. So that's that world done, and I have 6 emeralds now. Wow. Also note, all the emeralds are blue. I guess if Sega really cared, they would, you know, try and retcon it as them being some other kind of gem that's not an actual Chaos Emerald. For all I know, the comics have already done that because there was a... Where's my ball? Okay. There was a short arc based on this game in one of the comics. I'm not sure if it was Archie or if it was Sonic the Comic. The UK-based Fleetway comic. That one's pretty interesting. That's where we got the Echo comic, actually, because they had other Sega-based specials and one-offs. But I don't really know anything about that comic actually in terms of the Sonic series and the characters it introduced or anything. I wonder if they migrated over to Archie eventually. I do know that after Fleetway cancelled Sonic the Comic, it was sort of taken up by fans online, and they continued it themselves. There's like an unofficial fan-made like continuation of Sonic the Comic, which well, I don't really know the current state of it. Oops. One more tooth. I never liked tooth damage. It's always, you know, viscerally disturbing. Pump it up. Headache. Okay, that's pretty creepy too. The head blew up, leaving only the glasses and nose behind. The machine. So I think this might be the last level, maybe? Sorry, going nowhere. Okay, let's stop going up that same tube. Oh, cool. So I can use this platform to go over to a different table. Sega sign in the background, nice. Wow, what's going on? This one has a different sort of layout. Nope. Oh no, no, no! Okay, fine. Wow. A bit more confusing what's going on around here. Okay. That's just a score. What if I go up here? Power chamber. That might be important for progression. Oh, am I rotating that thing by doing that? I believe I am. Okay, so let's save there and we'll try and get into the crystal chamber. Or the gem. What's it called? Emerald. Yeah, nice. I don't, you know, I was speaking before about them having to change jingles and stuff. I was reading online about how, you know, there's the 2 American versions and there's other changes, not just swapping out the main title theme. And the Japanese one is slightly different, the European one slightly different again. I think this is just the second US release, but I'm not really sure. Certain jingles were changed or extended, etc. It's really quite confusing. Why can't people just make games that are the same the whole way through? That's unrealistic, I know. Nice cartoon sound effect. I'm not sure I did everything in there that I need to, but... Oh, I guess we're going back. So let's see if I go up, and then... So now that that's out of the way, keep going up. Alright, I don't think there's anything more up there, so we'll move over to this other table. Woo! Given saying, I kind of tailed off around when they were pushing that mongoose as a new love interest. I don't know what the heck you're talking about, but it sounds pretty cool. Oh no, I'm back here. Oh, nice. Oops. Didn't quite get that loop right. Now I'm back here. I want to go over to the left again. If I can. Yes. Yes, good. Okay. Save real quick. Let's see. The Fleetway comics were pretty faithful to the games, as given. Good to know. But then again, like, I mean, the Archie comics have really convoluted and expansive, you know, backstory and lore and stuff. But I actually like that it adds so much to the universe, which is why when the very few times that it infiltrates the games is a fun thing. But it really doesn't happen very much. But yeah, I'd prefer the sprawling Archie comics to something that's just, you know, the game storylines and nothing else. And I know that's not what Fleetway was, but you know, just in general. Okay. So back here, that's what I wanted. So Gibbon says he had Sonic 2, 3, Knuckles, this, and Triple Trouble, which he had to play on a friend's Game Gear because he didn't have his own. You had a game, but not the console to play it on. Yeah, Triple Trouble's cool. We talked about that during Drift because that's where Fang the Sniper comes from. But yeah, those 8-bit Sonics often get overlooked. But, you know, even the ones that don't have a unique name are still unique games. Sonic 1 and 2 for the Game Gear. Not sure if they're on Master System as well, but this one certainly was. When I, you know, if I have time, when I load up the 8-bit version, it'll definitely be the Master System version. What else does he say? And then, of course, Adventure came out, and I lost my stuff and went all in on that. I own pretty much every title in the series that has been released in the West. Wow. You know, I knew you were into Sonic, but I actually didn't know that you were that into it. That's pretty impressive. You own every single one. Of course, with the caveat that he hasn't got Forces yet, so you've sort of locked yourself into buying that, I suppose. Even though you might not be super into it, I don't know. I don't recall hearing our specific thoughts on Forces yet. Because Tony had the game and he said it's okay, it's mediocre, but it doesn't deserve all the lambasting that it's getting. Lambasting? Lambasting? I really don't know how to say that word. Oh well. I think it's best. Oh, how do I rotate that? How do I get over there? Did that rotate it? Maybe. No, I don't think so. So what if I go up here? Yeah, I'm trying to expand my Sonic collection at the moment. As soon as circumstances allow, I am going to get the next 2 Rush games because I was so impressed by Rush. So I'll get Rush Adventure and then Colors DS. And then I already have Generations 3DS, which is sort of a Rush 3.5 kind of thing. Note, I really like the mechanical sounding soundtrack in this level. I don't know how to get to the next part. So what if I go up that loop? Oh, looks like I got an extra life at some point. That's right, I had to do the power chambers to rotate that chamber, so that should let me get up to the damn it, the Gemerald, the Chaos Emerald. Okay, I lost my life, but hopefully I still have that chamber rotated. Oh, I just noticed a UI element that I hadn't even been looking at before. Silly me. Now, do you see that purple display there on the middle of the screen right now? I never even looked at it before, but that is showing which way the Chaos Emerald chamber is facing. So, yeah, silly old me. It did say that it was locked at some point, so I'm thinking if I get that power chamber enough times, it'll lock into the favorable position. I won't have to just... Yeah, left wheel stop. I hope that's what that means. Yeah, okay, it is. So we're gonna try and get back over there now. Yes, good. I'll save here. Oh, okay. Gibbon says Triple Trouble is the only one not for the Master System. It was only on Game Gear, but there is a fan port of that. Yeah, I think I talked a lot about fan conversions of Game Gear titles to the Master System when I was playing Drift. It's pretty interesting what they're doing. I noticed I lost all my rings. I guess to get the bonus stage you need to get all rings on a single life. Kind of annoying. But yeah, let's go up and see what we need to do next. Is that like a monkey with a propeller on its back? pretty cool. I'm really getting hang of the movement system now too. I'm using the mid-air direction changes a lot more. Hold this up. Yeah, okay. Notice the background, how it looks like a circuit board kind of thing. Ooh, ooh, okay. Yeah. Clever. So I need to pick the right thing to go into on the right there. There's so many. Maybe I'll just go up there. Oh, okay. Okay, so power chamber. I guess I'll use that. So, nope. He really slows down on that. There we go. Platform stop. Which platform exactly? Oh! Yes, wrong way. Yeah, that's bad. I'm going back. So I'm here. Ooh. Okay. Given says, Forces has rapidly moved into so bad it's hilarious territory. Yeah, people were sort of not sure what to think and like, oh, maybe it'll be good. But the more info's come out about it, the more it's been like, yeah, this is not one of those Sonic games. This is one of those Sonic games. Although I have seen people saying it's not quite, you know, Sonic 06 levels. It's not quite there. That seemed like a bug. I'm not sure Sonic should have been able to grab that particular ledge. Okay, so this platform stopped. Ah, that's why you would want that platform to stop. I get it. Okay, yo, move it, whatever. I hope that was the right decision. Nope. Oh, maybe. Hey, yes it was. Wonderful. So I'm here now. Oh. Oh, no, no, no. Oh, how dare you. That was so rude. Well, now I know this trick. I'm gonna do this. Although, oh no. Should be able to get back up there, yeah. Okay. Okay, that's fine. So if I go all the way up, let's save here. Ah, stupid platform. Okay. Oh, another one. Didn't I get 3 already? Maybe there's more in this stage. So if I had 3, 6, and I got 4, so I have 10 now? And now I'm here. I haven't been in this room yet. Oops. Yeah, I gotta go back. Okay, so I got this. Yeah, we've been talking in Discord about, actually it was Given bringing up some things about the development of Forces that he's inferred. Pretty interesting stuff. It seems like there was originally, the original plan for Forces was to have modern Sonic and classic Sonic, as they do. Where did that emerald go? Oh, it fell down there. But I'm also rescuing animals. Hooray! Yeah, so they were going to have modern and classic Sonic, but they were also going to have Sonic Boom's version of Sonic. And, you know, reminder that Boom, the television series, is still running and successful, but the whole property seems to have been tarred with the brush of the Wii U game, at least as far as games are concerned. So I guess they felt like it would have been a bad PR move to put Boom's Sonic in Forces because lol, like Wii U game is glitchy, lol, or something. But that change apparently happened late in development. So you have things like the final boss, or one of the final bosses, being quite a lot like the antagonist of that, you know, the games, the Wii U game at least, and the first 3DS game. Lyric. And you have dialogue relating to a Sonic coming from another dimension, which Gibbon has taken to be supposed to have been referring to Boom Sonic, but at some point was switched so that they refer to classic Sonic as being from another dimension instead, which doesn't actually make sense because it's just the past version of Sonic. But at the time when we first saw that alternate dimension stuff, it seemed like it was Sonic Team sort of spitefully declaring that Sonic Mania was non-canon out of some sort of jealousy because it was so well received. But, you know, it kind of makes more sense if it's just a change that they had to do but didn't re-record the dialogue specifically. I don't know, it just seems kind of a mess. Oh yeah, and there was the other evidence of, you know, the Avatar characters' tools and abilities being reminiscent of things you could do in the Sonic Boom Wii U game as well. So it seemed like that was intended for that Sonic Boom character, but it was swapped over to the Avatar. Now, some people made the point that the Avatar is a lot better for their PR and people are really attaching to that concept, and I'd agree with that, although and it also allows them to do stuff like clothes DLC and crap like that. I didn't know I was going to be talking so much about Sonic Forces today. Well, I shouldn't be surprised because I started this stream by saying, hey, Sonic Forces out, let's play a Sonic game. Anyway. Boy, I don't want to go back down here. I guess I want to release all these traps. Yeah, sure, let's do it. Anyway, yeah, Avatar, good idea. Maybe could have had a bit more to it. There's all these different animals you can be, which is cool. But their different abilities, I don't know, they seem a bit uninspired, to be honest. Like, one of them gives you some rings after you die. One of them has a homing attack. I think the bird's ability was probably the most useful because it does a double jump. But I don't really know. Like I said, I'm not really going to play Sonic Forces anyway. Stuff. Like, I might have been interested. I did actually get a copy of Generations, the console version, as well as the handheld version. And although I have never really been too interested in 3D Sonic games, I was open to the possibility of that game sort of getting me interested in Forces, which is a kind of follow-up to Generations, but it seems like it's another example of a Sonic game that was mismanaged and rushed and just didn't turn out well as a result, and that's really unfortunate. Everyone wants good games to exist. And when games don't live up to their potential, it's kind of sad. But enough about Sonic Forces. What's Gibbon saying next? Yeah, okay, so he doesn't have all the Sonic games. I brought up how colors and generations on the handheld are you know, completely different games that are made by dimps and follow the lineage of Rush. And he's saying he didn't realize how different they really are. So he's been meaning to get them. Or no, he doesn't specifically say that, but I think he really should. He should look into it. I've always been about looking into different versions of the game on other platforms, different versions of any game on different platforms, because they can be quite different. And I love comparing and contrasting different ports. I mean, I already talked about how this game had its 8-bit version made by a completely different development studio and with all new level design. And of course, it having different sound hardware, the music is going to sound different even if it's using the same melodies, which I don't really know. And this is taking ages. Should I just move on? I've only got one cell left to go. Oh, come on, let's do this. I feel like I've been bumping around this room talking about forces for bloody ages. Let's do this. One more, one more. Oh boy. This requires careful use of the in-air movement and bumpers. The controls are a little sticky for the kind of precision I really want. Sonic's not super responsive in air, and he hasn't really needed to be up until now, to be honest. It's just getting through this bit. I'm not even sure that freeing all these cages really does anything, but you really can't be sure, you know. Okay, there we go. All cells open, it tells me. I got a 500,000 point bonus, and I think that's it. So, whoopee! Let's get out of here. What is even my next objective? I believe there was some stuff at the top of this shaft that needed doing, so... Oh. Ah, it's not... This momentum's just not working right. Now I'm out here. Curses. I'm losing my voice. Whoops! Oh no, I spilled water all over the kitchen. Oh well. It'll dry up. In the meantime, I'll load back here and try and do better. I noticed that the, I forget what the damn thing's called, the little light strip at the top told me to do the flipper trick just now, so decent of it to remind me of that. There's got to be a reason that all those all these things are open on the right side here. I wonder where they all lead. Let's try. Okay, let's not try. Oh wait, I can never stop trying. That would be tragic. Yeah, actually it's kind of funny given that the handheld versions of Colors and Generations are like, oh, hey, yippity-doo-dah, are the only Sonic games you don't have, whereas they're kind of the only ones that I'm interested in getting at the moment. On top of the 2 Rush games. But yeah, check it out. Sure. Okay. I was wondering also whether I should go back and look at the advanced games too, because they're clearly in Rush lineage, but earlier. Oh, platform. Oh, wow! I bumped up there purely by chance. Okay, so before I do that, let's explore my options here. So I can knock one of these down, and what happens if I go this way? That leads me to the cell room. Okay, so that's bad. that leads me... Alright, destroy the veggie machine. So now that I have all the emeralds, I can finally do the final boss, I believe. I think is what's happening here. Those birds are going to get in my way, aren't they? You know what? I need to save here, so I don't... Yeah, you're right, Gibbon. It is a real shame that Forces isn't getting a Rush-style handheld version. Yeah. I guess the 3DS is dead, and as a result, you know, it's a side effect of the Switch being this hybrid console, is that you don't, or Nintendo or the developers don't feel like they need to make a different version for it. You know, instead what we have is the Switch version of Forces just being the same game but worse, essentially. Like, it doesn't run as well. And, you know, it's probably possible, but I just saw a headline today, you know, Digital Foundry does their customary comparison of different versions, and the Switch version doesn't really measure up, but, you know, that's to be expected. Okay. Alright, I did it that time. I managed to save myself there. Yeah, so unless they're going to do like a mobile phone version, it's just not going to be the same paradigm that we had back then of consoles and handhelds. There aren't, like, the Vita's on its way out, the 3DS is on its way out. There's not going to be dedicated handhelds anymore, and I think that's a shame because you always get different kinds of games on them. And yeah, that whole thing I was talking about with comparing different platforms, it's going to be less of a factor going forward, and that's kind of a shame. Oh well. There's still lots of gaming history to catch up on. I always keep that in mind. I mean, look what I'm doing now. Oops. Nope. Stop. Yep. Okay. As long as I mash enough, I can fall in the center one and get back up here. So I've destroyed the two things. I think my goal might be to get into the middle there. Whoops. Let's just hold on here. Pop up. Not quite. Whoa, Gibbons put an essay down there. Let's have a read of that. He says he really likes the advanced games. That's good. Maybe when I'm done with all the Rush ones, I might go back. But he's saying very recently he was playing Pocket Adventure, which is on the Neo Geo Pocket Color. It was... Yeah. It has the distinguishing privilege of being the first sprite-based Sonic title to use the new adventure look. Also interesting that it was on the Neo Geo Pocket Color, which was basically Sega's last console. They helped Neo Geo with its development and had a lot of console tie-in games on it. I did not know that. Yeah, I didn't know that Sega was involved with the Neo Geo in that way. But yeah, that's an interesting little game. It's sort of a successor to the 8-bit, Game Gear titles, but later on. And yeah, like you said, it's sort of the first game to use sprites that also uses the quote-unquote modern Sonic look that was, when the whole thing was redesigned for adventure, basically. That's when Amy got her redesign as well, I believe. We talked about that on Sonic Drift. Okay, so this is going well. Pop, pop, pop. Yeah. So we didn't get to go to the bonus stage that appears when you get all the rings in a level. Unless I got them all here, I'm not sure. We'll have to find out. But yeah, it's a multi-ball thing where you... there's robotic chickens. I'm not sure if they're the same chicken from the cartoon. But yeah. Stuff. Given says Pocket Adventure is otherwise basically just Sonic 2 again, but it's fine. Yeah, Sonic 2's kind of the most popular one, but it also kind of... a lot of later games just go back to that well. Okay, come on. Let's take it slow. There we go. Damn. So who made Pocket Adventure exactly? Was that Sonic Team or was it Dimps? Or someone else? It's usually either Sonic Team or Dimps. Depends on the year, I suppose. It's a huge puddle on my countertop right now, and oh well. Oh, okay. They already released a mobile tie-in for Forces. Good. So yeah, that is the I guess equivalent of these handheld things. Is this the one I was thinking of, or is this something else? I don't know if this is just the normal one or if it's the extra one, but anyway, there's the chickens. Oh, bad. Did I save? I'll save now. I've got 2 balls left, that's fine. So yeah, what's called Sonic Forces Speed Battle, and it's basically a reskin of Dash but with a weapons and rivals system and some other new mechanics. Yeah, Dash didn't interest me at all. It's sort of a temple run thing where you've got a behind Sonic angle and he's running forward and you sort of swipe to move between lanes, and it's just an endless kind of thing. I gave it a go, but it was pretty boring and loaded up with like garbage free-to-play crap that made it very unfun to bother with. They already had a follow-up to that, actually. Is that the right thing? Yeah, Dash. That's the one. There's another 2D endless runner called Sonic Runners that is now shut down, and I'm still waiting for the sequel to be released on iOS because it's been out on Android for a little while now. Sonic Runners Adventure. I like that because it had a lot of playable characters, which gave them the opportunity to add in lots of fun characters like, you know, my favorite Blaze the Cat, and, you know, Tikal from Sonic Adventure 2, I think, who's an echidna, and they even had things like Styx the Badger in, which, you know, you wouldn't normally see in a Sonic game unless it was specifically Boon, but because it's this mobile game with tons of playable characters, they thought they could just slip in, you know, things from different continuities, which is really cool. I guess they could do that in Forces 2, at least. They could have if they kept up with the Boon thing, but yeah. Again, the Sonic Dash formula is not really my cup of tea. I'm still waiting for the next, the Runners sequel. Can I do this? Save again. We need to win, obviously. Like, you can get by just by not winning, but I want to win. Let's see what happens. Pop, pop, pop. Wow, that was effective. Yeah, so did I finish mentioning that there was a Sonic Dash 2 that was based on Sonic Boom? So I guess this is the third one of those. You've also got the Sonic Jump games on iOS. Hey, did you see that? There was another appearance of the Freedom Fighters. The comic characters and stuff. That's not documented. At least, it wasn't in the things that I read. Interesting stuff. Oh, that's it! Boom. We win. Tikal is from Adventure 1, yes. And yeah, given saying what I was already saying, but I think he said it before me. There was a Dash 2 that was just Boon characters, and yeah, the Forces one is basically Dash 3. Oh! Oh, there's more! Oh! Okay. Robotnik is getting away, it says. Go get him. Okay, so there is another level. Yeah. So I just didn't know that this was in here. But yeah, there's more to the game, hooray! And more emeralds to find. I didn't think I had enough, because I read there were 16, but I think I have 12? No, I don't know how many I have. Okay, we need emeralds, man. But how do we get them? Light all gates for extra multiplier. Oh, I don't need that. Eruption timer. Are those plates gonna be destroyed somehow? Whoa, this is crazy. I don't know what's going on. This is how I feel on each new level of this before I've got a grasp on the, you know, movement mechanics for the particular stage. But yeah, it's a little confusing still. So there's an eruption. Come on, get me out. Ah, bust blocks first. Are those plates the blocks? Targets reset? What? What targets? What am I hitting? Alright, calm down. It's fine. What's Gibbon saying? Yeah, that's right. Runners 2 is out in some territories, but it's only on Android so far as when I last checked, but it might be, yeah, it might be out wider than that now. Yeah. So Gibbon's saying he's got the original Sonic Jump 1 and 2 on his old pre-smartphone. That's correct. Sprite-based, yeah. So I enjoyed Sonic Jump 1 brackets the smartphone version, but Sonic Jump Fever, which is the second one of those on smartphones, has a lot of the annoying stuff that I mentioned from the Sonic Dash game, where, you know, there's an energy system and there's like more emphasis on you buying power-ups from the store and like using in-game currency and all this junk. So I got rid of all these plates, but I didn't go up the way the plates were, so I want to do that. Where's that going to take me? So yeah, Sonic Jump on smartphones was a lot of fun actually. It was like a doodle jump clone, but you know, stage-based. I think the Fever one was a bit more of an endless type thing and just cynically designed to suck your money away. Right rock will shoot. Whoa, okay. Oh, didn't grab that thing. Okay. Left rock will shoot. Where was my shooty rock? Let me grab that hook. Yes, okay. Yes, got the hook. What's going on now? Not enough emeralds to get 5 more! Wow, okay. So I need to go all the way up there when I have 5 more emeralds, but I still need them, so I guess I'll just drop down here and see what happens. Ooh, ooh! Aww. Okay, now I'm here. Yes, I know. Oh boy, okay, so we need to get rid of these plates in this room to get an emerald here. So much for finishing this quickly. What time is it? An hour and a half. Hopefully we can still get through it. Oops! How many lives do I have? I think lots. I think we're good. Showdown. Yeah, I've still got 2 more lives. That's fine. I'll save at this point. But yeah, as Gibbon's saying, Sonic Jump, there was a version of Sonic Jump before there was the smartphone one on Java phones. 2 of them, in fact, and they were sprite based, and they were, I guess, that doodle jump formula, but without the tilt controls, which is the usual way that those things are controlled. I guess some dumb phones had tilt sensors that you could use, but I don't know. I assume it was just buttons. And yeah, I'm jealous. haven't played those. Although, hey, maybe I'll look into it. Maybe I will try and get them running on an emulator. But it doesn't always work out. Sometimes you can't get these games. And then sometimes they just don't run properly. And I've had a few streams planned where it just didn't work out because I couldn't get the game to run right. And that's too bad. I was gonna play, oh no, the rock wasn't there to save me. That's annoying. Yeah, I was gonna play the mobile version of Sonic and All-Stars Racing. Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing, the first one. No, I don't want to go up here. I want to hit those stupid bumper things. Which, you know, is a decent racing game of that type. Oh boy. Alright, we're going to save after hitting each one of those plates. I'm going to stay in this room until we do it. It's probably the wrong way to play this game. You're probably supposed to just roam around and do what you can on each objective. It's not like they reset, do they? Don't know. Maybe they do. Yeah, but there's a danger. If I go down there and the rock's not there, I get boned. Oh wow. Sonic Jump 1 and 2 even had story and dialogue scenes. That sounds great. I'll definitely look into emulating those. Otherwise you'll have to stream yourself playing them with a camera pointed at your phone. Given likes to brag about how he's got these old phones that he, you know, loaded these games up on back in the day. I'm so jealous because, you know, it's kind of an area of gaming that is, well, you know, it's under documented. It's underrated. There's a lot of cool stuff going on there, and even the derivative stuff. It can still deserve a look. I mentioned before the Sonic Unleashed on mobile being a 2D platformer. Chimney ramp. Okay. Yes. Save. Hit trigger again. I'll try. You had to make me do it 4 times, didn't you, game? Yes. Go. Oh, I see. So I can respawn the rocks by hitting all those plates. Good. Okay. That's helpful. Now I understand. Oops. Well, there go my rocks. Now they're back. Yeah, I got given on a mobile games tangent and it's going away there. That's awesome. Hang on. Yeah, the Unleashed mobile was a great find. He says you should sit down with that at some point. Come on, if you're such a Sonic fan, you gotta get on it. You know, when I discovered how good Rayman was, over the course of a year, I sat down and I very intentionally played through every Rayman game in order from the whole series. I documented it all on my blog and it was a lot of fun. But I don't know, that's just the way I do things. I guess it doesn't work for everyone. And I don't mean to shame you for being a non-fan or anything, I'm just saying, if it was me, I would, if I felt that way about Sonic, and I do like it, but I'm not going to sit down and play every single one of the games. But I'm having fun with this one, so you know, cool. Okay, got an emerald. What do I do next? Let's find another area to get another emerald, because I still need 4 more. And we're going to do it, because I'm having fun, and we've got a lot more Sonic stuff to talk about. But first, Gibbon is saying more stuff about mobile games. Let me get out of here. Okay, ooh. gonna save now because, oops. Okay, what happens? Oh, okay, okay. So if I, no. Oh, hey. I don't think that's actually a thing up there. Ooh. Oh. Oh. Okay. This is fun. Hey, there we go. So let's load back. I think there might be another one like that up here, so we're going to try and get that. We're going to go back to that flipper that I was hanging on to before. This one. Oh, that just gets me back up here. Okay, so what about... Nope. Ah, I shouldn't have loaded back. I had it so good. How did I... Was it over here? Yeah, if I fall down here. Yeah, okay. This will get me another emerald. Yes. As long as I do it right. Nope. Yes, good. Yes, so what else did we have? Yeah. Totally. Given says, I lament the loss of that era of phone gaming. Oops. Where companies treated them like Game Boys that could make phone calls. Yeah. Because, like, that was legit, that stuff on those dumb phones. It's not really the same market on smartphones right now. Like you're saying before, like I was saying before about, you know, just the free-to-play revolution. How it's completely changed what it's affecting not just mobile games, but even full console games have like these microtransaction and loot box garbage in them. It's so bad. Oh, well, let's not get into a modern games today are terrible rant. But yeah, it was a fun time back then, experimental time. Ah, that's not what I want to do. What I want to do is get up there, hit that bird, and then hit that flipper thing. So there's some plates I need to get out of the way. Yeah, so Gibbon's talking about this Metal Gear Solid mobile game. He says it's a gem and I should stream it sometime. Oh, I would watch that. I've been watching some streamers I follow playing through the whole Metal Gear series, at least the canon ones. They skipped Snake's Revenge. But I read an LP of that, so I feel good about that. And Ghost Babel too, yeah, good stuff. Anyway, he's saying that Metal Gear Solid Mobile, it's a full 3D, what's Gibbon's words? A full 3D MGS title by Kojima that acts as a prologue to MGS2. You know, even more than the actual prologue to MGS2, I suppose. But yeah, I've read about that, and I haven't really seen it in action. Phones at the time that was released, like, could just about do 3D graphics that were on par with the PS1, so it's really cool that it's sort of a Metal Gear Solid style, almost throwback kind of thing, with, you know, Snake and Otacon doing whatever in service of finding Metal Gears and blowing them up and stuff. Yeah, cool little game. I would love to see you stream that. Yeah, given saying he's cynically stopped paying attention to mobile games for a while and feels like he missed out on a lot because of that. I feel like that in terms of just general gaming, but I never really paid any attention to mobile games until a lot more recently when, you know, none of it was available anymore. It was like Snake for me, and then I didn't really notice much else until, yeah, more recently. I need to, so I removed some plates here, which means I need to go up that right tunnel. They're not called tunnels. What are they called in pinball? Loops, I guess? These ones aren't looping though. Right center. So, yep, that's it. That's the one. Where's that taking me? Wonderful! Ah, feels so good. Give me them emeralds. Yeah, Given says he had a dedicated gaming phone. Where am I going? This way? Let's try it. It had a more defined arrow keypad, and the WASD keys on the keyboard were slightly raised in a different color. Yeah, wonderful. I know that the sort of Nokia N-Gage was the ultimate of that sort of gaming phone type thing, and there were a lot of ports to it from Game Boy Advance, including stuff like Rayman 3. And even, I think, Star Wars The Force Unleashed was on N-Gage, maybe. Alright, so I'm here now. I tried to get here earlier. Let's do a little spin dash here. Ooh, not enough emeralds. So that might be another way to get in there, as long as I have emeralds, but I still need 2 more. And I think they're on the right side of the maps. Let's try and get over there. And I think I know how. If I go up this left tunnel, that thing will spit me out. Yes. No. Not quite. Far left one then. Man, pinball's good. But I especially like it when a game adds these adventure elements to a pinball thing. When I mentioned I was streaming this today earlier, it sparked a bit of a conversation about pinball adventure games. People brought up Yoku, the whatever thingy, like whatever. It's like about a snail. It looks beautiful. It looks like a Rayman Origins kind of thing. But I don't think it's quite out yet, but yeah, that's one to look forward to. It's got like pinball mechanics in a really organic looking game world. Okay, so what if I go... No. If I can somehow get all the way up there, I'm sure that's going to take me somewhere. Okay. Oops. Oh great, where am I off to? Back here, that's not what I wanted. I'm gonna try and loop that balloon thing. Not quite. Oops. Oh, no, I didn't want that. And that used up the rock. But is that just this rock, or is it a different rock? Nah, I don't know. Oh, it's so tricky. Yeah, when you start having to be precise, it gets kind of frustrating. I guess I'll keep going for that shot. See a rocket trail there. I guess Eggman's about to take off in his rocket and I'm trying to stop him. Oh, not quite. More speed, please. Got to go fast, eh? Oh boy. Oh boy. Yeah, given saying about Metal Gear Solid Touch. No, not Metal Gear Solid Touch, because that's a port of Metal Gear Solid to iPhone that use touch controls. Metal Gear Solid Mobile, original game. And you actually play as Philanthropy for the whole game. Hey, here we go. Okay, so now I'm here. Oh, but I don't think I wanted to fall down there. Ugh. Well, at least I'm over here now, which is somewhere I haven't been in a while, so let's see what I can do. Yeah, but... Oh, I think I got the emerald here. So, there must be a higher up area. Okay, load? No, damn. Oh well. Let's give me another chance to have a go at that bomb area, maybe. Yeah, you actually play as Philanthropy for a full title. I fortunately managed to snag pretty much all the Alien/Predator mobile titles, he says. So I've got those on my old devices as well. Yeah, sometimes the only way to preserve some of these is to own the hardware, which is kind of annoying, but I guess, I don't know, dumping them might be hard, but you should probably do it at some point. I feel like that way about a lot of manga I have as well. I should scan it, but just don't have the scanner or the skills. Huh, okay, so I got my goal there, but I just looped back around to where I was. See, I'm learning though, that's the important thing. Ah, the rock can help me, but it's got to be precise. Yeah, a side-scrolling sprite-based God of War, and an Assassin's Creed. Yeah, I actually saw the HD101 crew stream that or play it or something. It's probably archived on their YouTube channel. They were playing the mobile phone Assassin's Creed, which is just like a 2D action platformer, side-scroller thing. Pretty interesting. And oh good, I glitched through there, that's good. So at least... I feel like that's what I need to do, but there was some goal there that I'm not quite grasping. But yeah, interesting. Yeah, Assassin's Creed, there's stuff in the game that's in the mobile game that's not in the actual full game, as well as it being a unique thing for the series in that it's a 2D side-scroller. Although I guess they've had a few of those since on newer platforms. The Chronicles game for it. Yeah, is that what I was supposed to do? Go up? Possibly. But again, I'm not sure I have the emeralds to do whatever needs to be done when I get to the top. Or is that a way to get something? I don't know, better get all the emeralds first, I guess. And I see one right there, so I'll try for that next. What am I hoping to accomplish right here? Let's go down. I'm gonna need to get that by doing some plate business down here, I'm sure. No, no! No, not back here. Here we go again. Yes, the tedium is beginning to set in, but it's okay. We got this. HD101's probably played this too. They've got a Sonic super fan on staff, Miteki, and they often will play a Sonic game and he will absolutely school everyone and just blitz through it. They did Mania recently. I watched their 32x one. What's that one called? Vector's Chaotix? Knuckles Chaotix? Vector's Chaotix. I guess when Knuckles is not around, Vector is the boss, but he's not in the title. Oh my goodness. What? The Assassin's Creed mobile game got a DS port. It's called Altair's Chronicles. I was not aware of that. But Given says he's not super clear on the differences between the versions. Oh, there's an opportunity for you. You could be the expert on that if you looked into it. I do forget that Sonic can spin dash. Oh boy. How many more emeralds, please? I think that's 2 more. Ah, no. What if I do this? No. Yes, 2 more. Air Surfer, dude. Rocket. Is that a pun because of the rocket? Lame. Puns are only funny when I do them. Or more generally, puns are funniest for the punner, not the punny. Left rock? Nope. So what's the best way to get over here? Okay, I got a plan now. I can do this. Nope, not that. I'm gonna do this. Yes, that's what I'm gonna do. And now I'm here. And surely there's something I can do here. I mean, I'm pretty sure. No, apparently not, but maybe there's something I can do here. Oh, Espio is the boss. Okay, my bad. That's why his name is first on the in-game character list. There's evidence to suggest that the game wasn't going to have Knuckles in it at all, and just have the Chaotix versus Eggman and Metal Sonic. But yeah, faith in new brands, yeah. Knuckles had name recognition, I guess. Alright, what am I doing here? I got some options. I can go right, which means I can get this. Or I can go left, which takes me somewhere bad. What if I do this? Also bad, for my purposes. Alright, so we'll go this way. Altair's Chronicles is actually a prequel to AC1, and they reference it. They reference its events occasionally in AC1 and Altair's journals in AC2, but they kind of stopped talking about it later, since the concepts of what the pieces of Eden were and stuff changed when the original series designer left Ubisoft. Isn't that always the way? Main writer, designer leaves, and things change. But yeah, it's interesting to hear how it was pseudo-important for a time. What's next? Where am I going? I've got one more emerald to get, but I'm not sure where it is exactly. It's not there, so let's load back over here. It must be over here somewhere. What happens if I go up there? I've got to pull that handle. I haven't spent much time in this room, so let's see what happens. Nope, I do not want that. But if I go here, it'll lead me back here. Excellent. Okay, so I want to go follow those green arrows on the right. Oh boy. Save. Oh no! Bad time to save. Very bad time. Okay, I saved it. Oops. No, wrong button. Hang on. Okay. Yep, never mind. Forgot that happened. Okay. Pause. Save. Now, let's do this. Yes. Okay. So that bird's gone. Now we'll get here. That didn't work. been talking about lore. Assassin's Creed lore, which I often misread as Animal Crossing lore because they have the same initials. Apparently one of the pieces of Eden was a living person, and Altair had to decide what to do with that. It's a moral issue. Interesting. I don't know what a piece of Eden is, but I'll just take your word for it that it was an intriguing plot development. Hey, I was holding that button. It's like... So the boss room's open. Okay. Oh, yeah, I can do this. Oh, not quite. I can't do that. I do appreciate that Sonic winks at me. Okay, I'm gonna save here. And if I go up, I'm gonna do what I tried to do that one time. Yes! Yes! This is gonna work! I'm so happy. Given says, you can see how that would conflict with what they went with later in the series lore. Actually, I don't see how that would conflict because I really don't know much about Animal Crossing lore, as I said. Sorry. Can't help you. It's the Eggman! Am I supposed to break the windows, or what? That looks like a button I should be pressing. Oh, look at his face. I feel like these windows are maybe giving me chances to not get thrown out, so I don't want to smash them. Oh, there we go. And that gives me another way to get back up, I guess. Okay, I finally see how it all fits together, and I didn't save. Typical. That's okay. We can do this. Okay. Assassin's Creed. I guess I watched my brother playing some of the first one on PC. But yeah, it's not really something I ever got into. Oh no, he got me. I assume that door will like open at some point, which means that this won't be safe coming out this way. Okay. Come on. Yeah, to be honest, I'm more interested in Prince of Persia, which is sort of what Assassin's Creed was kind of built on. And Assassin's Creed kind of killed the Prince of Persia series, that's the way I see it anyway. Oh, come on. Actually, on that note, I really like the Prince of Persia comic, but not the original Jordan Mechner one. I haven't read that one. The one, it's more recent, and I don't know, I can't remember if it has a subtitle, and I don't know who wrote it, so I can't really tell you much about it, except that it was interesting. It was like, I don't want to really explain anything about it, because, you know, spoilers or whatever, I guess. But check it out. Yeah, check it out. Okay, hit this button, get this over with. Click. Oh yeah, I was going to mention Eggman, Dr. Robotnik. Along with a few minor elements from the TV show that made it into this game, and the comic or whatever. The design of Eggman from the cartoon, which is very different to the game design. It's not in the game, but it is in the box art, but only for the 8-bit version, so on Game Gear and Master System. Everything's the same about the box art, like it's got a Sonic flying through the air and like stuff happening, but it's like quite noticeable that they swapped out just this one thing, the design of Robotnik. So even though he doesn't actually have the cartoon design in game, on the box for the 8-bit version he does. It's kind of weird. So that was funny. Okay, I'm hitting a button and I don't know what it's doing, but I assume it's helping me to win. Get that button. Oh, come on. Yes. One more. No. It's saying ouch when I hit the jet rocket thing there, but I don't think it's actually hurting me. There's no such thing as health or rings being lost from damage. Not in this game. Come on, it can't be too much more, can it? I can see how annoying this would be if I wasn't save saving and had to make my way all the way back up. Aha! So those windsocks are gone now and I can hit the canopy right in the head. Smell my socks. Okay. Not really into that. Eggman. Oh, they're back. What? So maybe hit the button a certain number of times and I trust that strip to inform me if something changes that I should be looking into. Okay, so we need the hands to not be there, the windsocks to not be there, and then we can hit the canopy, the cockpit. Oh my goodness! This is so fiddly. So you have to be standing not on that slope, otherwise you can't crouch. Yeah. Okay. Maybe we should be looking at the color of the flashing lights in that diagonal pattern. So we've got some pink ones and some green ones. So the windsock's still there, but the hand isn't. Hand's here and the windsock is as well. It's not a matter of activating them a number of times. It's got to be related to this button. This stupid button that I can't seem to hit. Yes. Okay, what does that mean? I guess I got rid of the hand on the other side. Ah, strike 3 now. Oh boy. Okay, so that's what that is. So, strike 1, fine. Click. So, what has click done exactly? Okay, showed an Eggman face there, which I assume means I can go up there now. It might be time limited, so let's try and hurry. Not. Hopefully it just stays off until I manage to get there. Oh, what? Guess I didn't save after that. Yes, okay. Eggman head appeared. I will go for the loop. Oh. Huh. Okay. So I still don't understand the mechanics here exactly. Click. I have an click. Those lights haven't really changed color at all. Ah, the hand's there. What is hitting this button doing? You know what? I'm gonna look up a walkthrough. This is too annoying. I just don't understand what I'm doing. Spinball. Walkthrough, please. The showdown. Boss table. Ah, okay, so in the words of this walkthrough, this boss constantly confuses me. I have been unable to determine a definite pattern for defeating him, even though I've done it a number of times. Wow. This guy also sells them, also calls them wind socks. He doesn't know what message indicates that the weapons are inactive. You know what? Let's try a different walkthrough. Hit the button between the fires 5 times, then shoot for the sides. If you did this correctly, the socks should be gone. And then when Smell My Socks comes up, they will have come back. Okay. Oh, Robotnik will replace the windows. Maybe that's only if you get knocked out of them though, and I don't want to spend the time coming back. Okay. Oh, that's a bunch of Eggman heads. That's got to mean something. So now I think it's timed until he says smell my socks. Oh, I was wrong. Okay, one more time maybe. Yes. 8 more to go. 8 more to go. 8 more. 8 more. 8 more. I can see this game stretching out before me. Oh no, I hit the button and it made the socks come back. Is that what happened just now? I think. Maybe it was a simple time limit. No, it doesn't seem like it. Not yet, anyway. 7 more. Ouch. Good. Okay, we're doing all right. I have a good feeling now. Yes. Go, go, go. Oh, okay. Yeah. Oops. No! That didn't happen. Neither did that. Or that. This is good. It might just stay like this until I hit the button again. I hope so. At least now I have a better idea. Okay, smell my socks. 5 more hits. Alright, good. We know what's going on now. Strike 2. Sonic 2. Nope. Okay, it's fine. Nope, not fine. Oh, not fine at all. I wonder if I can... Nope. And now I've lost count of the damn button, because I don't know when I saved. I think it was before hitting it all. Or maybe after, so either that's 1 or 3. Okay. I'm getting so close. Good. That's 2 or 4. And that's 3 or 5. It was 3. Sorry, Given. I hope you don't think I was being dismissive about Assassin's Creed. It does have an interesting lore up to a point. Like you said, when the writer left, I think it got away from them a bit. And then, of course, annualization set in and the series got a bit stale, you might say. Certainly, you know, compelling formula, these sandbox games. But now every game is like a sandbox game, so it doesn't seem that special anymore. one more hit, I'm sure of it. And then I think it was, yep, 3 more on Eggman. Robotnik, of course. Oh no, socks. Oh, much better. If I can just get that loop consistently. One more. One more without the socks. Go. Yes. Concentrate. Yes, yes, yes! Goodbye, Robotnik. Beautiful, look at those particles. Oh. Nice. Hey! Again with that strange plane. We had a weird synthesized Eggman screen there for us. So yeah, let's see. Do you have any other notes to talk about? I did want to point out that this game was completely developed entirely in the US, including the 8-bit port. Yeah, let's look at some of the development stuff. Game concept, Peter Morowicz. Oh, they are credited. They're not on Movie Games. Those two names at the start, that was Poly Games for programming. Yeah, how about that? Good stuff. Maybe they're not credited in the manual. I think that's what I'm thinking of. They must have filled out the Movie Games database based on the manual credits. So yeah, definitely Lee Actor and Dennis Coder deserve to be credited for their work on this game. And yeah, all the other people too, of course. Art, sound, etc., even these testers or whatever these people are. Woo! Oh man, that last world took me too long. It got too frustrating. But we did it. We beat Sonic Spinball, and I feel good about that. Alright, now that the credits have come to an abrupt end, why don't we check out the 8-bit version? Woo, hopefully can get a bit of, can be a bit relaxing. I need to breathe, chill out. Okay. And there we go. And that's working? Yes. So it seems like, oh gosh, I completely forgot that there was that options menu that I could have turned it up to fast. That probably wouldn't have helped. That would have made it harder. Yeah. Difficulty easy, please. Continues maximum sound test. It's just there from the get-go. That's nice. Yeah. So here we go. Master System Sonic Spinball. And I won't be playing this whole thing, just to reassure you out of the gate. I just want to at least check out the first world. See, that looks a lot more like Tails' traditional plane, although I think his normal one is a biplane. But yeah, we can already see the differences in this version. It's not that 3D screen with Sonic going into the screen. We've got a side-on view. And It doesn't look quite so much like a death fortress, it's more like just a volcano. Oh, that's cute. I saw on, I think it was on Sonic Retro's sub-article about the development of this game, that there was supposed to be sort of between level cutscenes that showed Eggman in his like control center looking on and a map being displayed, and it looked sort of like that map that was shown just now. Yeah, so we can already see some differences here. It's a bit simpler. The graphics are also pretty different. It looks a lot more cave-like. Not that the 16-bit one didn't look like a cave, but I guess when the graphics are a bit simpler like this, the caviness of it stands out more. But yeah, given you were talking before about not realizing how the handheld versions were so different, have you played the 8-bit version of Spinball? I assume you have finished the 16-bit one yourself, and perhaps watching me do it just now was maybe frustrating for you because you're better at it than me. I don't know. What's my goal here? The music's pretty soft actually, but I think it's different. I think it's got a different tune going on. Bit hard to tell. Trying to determine if I have the same level of air control over Sonic as I did in the other version. I think I do. With Eggman shaking, so Gibbon's asking about those cutscene bits. I don't know what Sega Sonic CD is. I know what Sonic CD is, and I know what Sega Sonic the Hedgehog is. But yeah, I also don't know what scene in particular you're referring to. So, but yeah, it's got like a big close-up of Eggman standing there. I don't think he's quite shaking his fist, but he's in control definitely in those scenes. What's going on? Did I drain the thing already? Maybe I should fall down here and see where that takes me. Nope, I didn't want to be here. I'm not sure where to go. But yeah, it is obvious that we've got a different layout going on here. Let's at least get one Chaos Emerald before we stop on this one. But yeah, the physics are a bit, you know, not quite as smooth. Aha, have I warped? Yes, okay, we've entered a new area. Good. It's what I expected from an 8-bit game, really, in terms of the physics not being quite as sophisticated or whatever. But we had that little worm busting game there. That's been retained. I don't have the ledge grabbing thing, but here we go. This is our first chance to walk around. Hey, let's do the spin dash. Oh, it sort of spun automatically. You need to collect all the Chaos Emeralds. No, the emeralds. Okay, good to know. So just like sorry, I completely lost my sentence. I got distracted by it. What was I saying? Anyway, yes, I was going to mention the ticker at the top. It only appeared there briefly when it needed to. It's not a persistent thing like it is in the other version. And I really like that about the 16-bit version, is having the ticker along the top of the screen all the time, showing your score, telling you different messages. That was a lot of fun. I like that as a feature. But it's not here except when it really needs to be. There's one green light there, that's got to mean something. While we're here, I haven't been in that left hole yet, so let's try that. Pop. Pop, I say. Okay. So that's taking me to a new area. Oh, okay. If I hold this down? Yeah, okay. Cool. Ah, I see. Oh, this is interesting. See, this isn't quite the segmented off like table sections. There's these flippers on the walls at different points along a larger area. That's already different to the 16-bit one as well. Yeah, interesting. I better not play this too long or I'll feel like playing the entire thing. Nobody wants to see that. Emerald, I see you. Oh, yes! Cool. You got 1 emerald. 2 more. Yeah, Sega Sonic Arcade. Given says, I think that was the first Sonic game? Maybe not. It was at least the first 3D Sonic game. It was like an isometric thing. It was pretty interesting. It ran on, or like the control scheme used a trackball, which is unique to the arcade game and is difficult to emulate. Not impossible. You can sort of replicate its functions with a mouse, but it doesn't really quite work the same way. Even if you have an external trackball, it can be tough getting the right physics on the trackball itself, like the piece of hardware. Like maybe your trackball scrolls faster than what the Sega Sonic the Hedgehog arcade machine's trackball did. So yeah, it's an interesting one. Again, the HD 101 crew have done a playthrough of that, and it's on YouTube if you're interested in that. It's a pretty cool little thing, like an arcadey experience that has 2 characters, Mighty the Armadillo and Ray the Flying Squirrel, who rarely show up afterwards in any other Sonic game. Oh, there we go. More emerald. Why don't we beat the whole first level? I'm feeling magnanimous. Before we clock off for the day, although it is getting on in time. Well, we'll see. I am sort of stumbling into emerald at the moment, so yeah. Okay, good. Gibbon says he has played the 8-bit versions of all the classic games. Excellent. I am reassured about the state of your Sonic fan soul. Okay, so Sega Sonic the arcade was made a few years into the franchise. Gibbon corrected me there. I think I'm confused because I've got it on my personal game release spreadsheet in the 3D games category, and it's the first one in that section. Of course, Sonic was designed for Sonic the Hedgehog on Mega Drive, of course. That just makes sense. The arcade one was sort of a weird experimental spin-off kind of thing. Although Sonic's first appearance was actually as like some kind of car ornament in some racing game that Sega made. Don't have all the details of that on hand, but yeah, interesting trivia. So that's where I need to go when I get more emeralds, but first I need to get them. And I have no clue where I would get the next one right now, but that's okay. Oh. So I've been here. Have I been here? Oh, I've been here. I've been everywhere, man. Across the deserts, man. Leave them out, man. What about that one on the wall right there? Let's try that. That's a pretty cute sprite when Sonic is sliding like that. Sonic the Hedgehog. Dang, I didn't want to go there. What now? Yeah, I'll load back. I haven't been in that right teleporter. Gimme. Yes. Okay, so I'm here. Oh, okay. So given saying Sega Sonic the Hedgehog is often billed as the chronological first game in the series. Not sure if that originated in the comics or what, but I think the premise is that it's young Sonic and friends and his first actual encounter with Eggman. See, that's pretty interesting. It even more brings to mind what happened to Ray the Flying Squirrel. Of course, Mighty the Armadillo, the other character in that, sort of replaced by Knuckles, but he does actually show up in Knuckles Chaotix. Ray, who was replaced by Tails, never really shows up anywhere, except a few like references or cameos, but not in person. I think he's in the comics. Everyone's in the comics. But yeah, interesting. It's certainly not the usual Sonic experience, given the, it's this weird isometric action game where you go through these stages and things are kind of exploding everywhere, and yeah, it's pretty fun. Well, I don't know what's going on here. Oh, yay! What a roller coaster. All right, so now that we got that, let's, gee whiz. That was unexpected, but I have plenty of lives. We have all the emeralds. It should have saved them, so let's try and get to the boss and yeah, get this done, and then we can all go home. Okay, this is the way. I do like that even on this less powerful system they managed to put in the animals being rescued, flying away. Yes, okay. Okay, early promo art of Sega Sonic the Arcade, says given, actually shows 3 hedgehogs, Sonic and then a red one and a yellow one. So they were later changed into Mighty and Ray, but yeah, he says could have been Sonic's brothers. Hey, this isn't a boss stage, or is it? Might have just taken me to the next zone. Maybe this game's real short. Oh no, there's a boss. That's a boss. Big Eggman head. Luckily there's no like fail state where I fall down back into the level and have to get all the way back. So it definitely loaded me in here. Yeah, that reminds me of the premise of one of the Sonic cartoons, Sonic Underground, where the main characters were Sonic and then his green brother, who was like a bit more wild, and his sister, who was pink. Yeah, Manic and Sonia. And they were like, they were the children of the queen, and like Eggman had deposed her and stuff, blah blah blah. I guess it's a little bit similar to the other cartoon where Sally Acorn was the deposed ruler, except this time it's Sonic. I guess I never really talked about the cartoon characters that were in this game and what their roles are. Let's do that real quick. Sally Acorn is the princess of the Acorn Kingdom or whatever, which is some kind of ruling power in Mobius, which is Sonic's world. There's eggs in this version, which is unusual because considering it's made in the US where you know Sonic's nemesis is exclusively known as Robotnik at this point in the series. Anyway. Ooh, extra time. See, the bonus stages here are completely different. Like I said before, they don't have the cameos, but they also just, yeah, completely different. They don't replicate a little pinball table. There's like a whole new adventure stage going on. Pretty cool stuff. So yeah, Sally acted as a love interest for Sonic for some of the adaptations. She also, there's an interesting weird localization thing where for Sonic CD's initial release in America, they tried to pass Amy Rose off, the new character, as Princess Sally, a character that the audience might have been familiar with from the adaptations, but they dropped that soon after. But yeah, Sally was big at the time. I remember in Sega World, which was an indoor Sega theme park that we had here in Australia, she was one of, like, you know, the main characters in the Sonic oeuvre. There was, you know, Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and then Sally as their friend. It was before Amy had caught on, I guess, as another cast member, and they were working with what they had. And when you entered Sega World, you were given like a magnetic swipe card that you could use on the arcade machines to, you know, track how much credit you had or whatever. And at least that's what my memory of it is. It might have just been an entrance pass. Anyway, the one I had definitely had Sally on it, which is how I knew of her. And apart from that, I didn't know anything about her. I hadn't watched the cartoons or anything. So yeah, for all I knew at the time, she was an important character. She never really turned out that way in the games, at least. So yeah, that's my Sega World story. My card, which I had for years, and I went looking for it today, but I think I've thrown it out. Had Sally on it. Yeah, so who else did we rescue? Bunny Rabbit. I think I said at the time that she was half roboticized. And that's her story. Eggman transforming like woodland creatures into robots. He sort of does it in the games, but it's more like tiny animals that he sort of, I don't know if they're powering or just imprisoned inside these badniks that he makes. And you always free them, obviously. They're the little animals that go running away after Sonic beats a bad guy. In the cartoons and the comics, it was more directly transforming an animal into a robotic version of themselves. And that sort of half happened with Bunny there. Who else was there? Rota the Walrus. I don't know, he's an important freedom fighter, and he's a prominent character in those series, but I don't really know much about him. There was the dog. It's a dog. I don't know. What else was there? Nah, that was about it. We might be done here. I was going to talk about some of the other Sonic cartoons, but I guess I never really got around to it. I was distracted. But there are 6 separate animated series for Sonic, you know. I talked about some of them. But yeah, there's also Sonic Boom and the anime and the OVA. So some made in Japan, some made in the West. Oh, Danger Mouse is here. No, I didn't start late. I've just been playing a long time. I played through all of Sonic Spinball, and this is the 8-bit version of Sonic Spinball, which is a bit different. But I'm going to be finishing up in a minute here. Yeah, Sonic's other cancelled sibling, says Gibbon. He's lamenting the loss of Sister Sonic, which was a game that was in development starring the sister of Sonic. But then they finished the game, but I guess skinning it with Sonic stuff fell through for some reason, and it became a different game, or maybe they were just reskinning the existing game. I'm not sure, but there was an actual game out of the Sister Sonic project. It just doesn't involve Sonic's sister. Do I have a sore throat? I do, but that's only because I've been speaking for, oh gosh, more than 2.5 hours at this point. I'm gonna stop. Yeah. Tails was not the tech guy in the comics, but Rota was, says Gibbon. Okay, good. I'm so glad you're here, Gibbon. You know a lot more about Sonic than me. I was really counting on you filling me in about a lot of the stuff, so that's good. And you have done. So, yeah, with that, let's call an end to it. I'm not going to finish this game, and I've been going a long time, so I guess if you really want to see it looks like YouTube is your friend. But thanks for being here, those of you who were, and I need to go drink some more water. We're going to play something that's not Sonic next week. I know I've done 2 Sonic games in pretty quick succession, but yeah, thanks for sticking with me. It's been fun today, and see you next time. Goodbye.